Hello everybody, it's Michelle here with Angel Souls, and this is our weekly angelic message for the week beginning May 8th, 2023. This is after the 5-5 portal. Let me know how you're doing down below, okay? There are a few things that we just have to address right here. I had to put up a post about the lives because they were getting a little out of hand. Some of them, the past few have been amazing. I wanted to keep it that way. So if you are a kind, very self-aware person, please know I wasn't talking about you. Up to that 5-5 portal, I've had some very interesting interactions with people. Of course, we have Mercury retrograde, so it's just been a lot of things that I felt like, let's just set this boundary, because that's always good. And always watch out for people who get upset when you set a boundary. There you go. That's a red flag right there. And this type of energy that we're in it. Like it just started on the 5th. We're in it now for quite some time. We're going to be having moments like that where we wake up and realize, hey, I need to speak up. Or, hey, I need to course correct this. I've gotten far away from who I really am. Or I've tolerated too much. So that's not to make ourselves a victim or to go into victimhood. That's never good. But this is, just making sure everyone's on the same page and laying things down the way you need to. There is nothing wrong with that. If, I know a lot of people try to control others by pointing out enabling behavior and putting that behavior on a pedestal and saying, see how supportive and good this person is. See how peaceful they are. Listen, I've been saying this quite a bit and I'll say it again. Too much of that is getting pushed in our faces in the spiritual community and being passed off as truth, as spiritual truth, the true path or whatever. In reality, we all have our way of getting to the divine. Cool, okay? But spirituality is not enabling. Spirituality is not about sidestepping or kidding ourselves, lying to ourselves. And what has really bothered me since 2015, there was this thing where we saw a lot of, tarot reading became very mainstream, which I thought was cool because if you are a good tarot reader and you take it very seriously, it's not just about flipping cards and reading the book, okay? When you're using divination tools, that is a huge responsibility. People who are in a certain moment in their lives are coming to you to get answers, okay? And every art, esoteric art, has a thing that it specializes in, okay? So tarot is 4th dimensional energy, a little bit closer to 3D energy, can give you a little bit more predictive, or at least give you a trajectory, a possibility about what could be coming in for you. Can be very valuable if you're stuck. What angel mediumship, and not everybody who reads angel cards is an angel medium, which again, that's cool. If you're an angel card reader, as long as you're doing it responsibly, you understand the energy that's coming through, I can make a whole video on that, then that's very helpful as well. But I have seen with anything that goes mainstream, it's going to be misused, misunderstood. If you're wondering why I'm looking off here, I put a bunch of crystals right there. I don't know. I shouldn't have put them just off camera. Sorry. Hi, I'm here. I'm here with you. With popularity, people want to jump on it. And maybe they're not studying as deeply as we would like. Or they're just reading the book. They get the traditional meanings of things, and they're using their intuition a little bit, but it's not, dang it, I did it again, but it's not maybe very deep. What I'm getting at here is that angelic messaging has gotten completely trampled. And the only angel mediums who are really getting through to anybody anymore are the ones that are having to do a little bit of crossover. And that's fine too. I totally understand that because we have a job to do. So Again, I could say quite a bit on that, and I've seen how people very much misunderstand what they're signing up for. I shouldn't laugh. I've had so many clients who I love my clients, but maybe they've never gotten an angelic reading before. And one, I always hear them say, I was scared. You don't ever have to be scared with the angels. If anything, they're going to help you find your peace. Now, finding your peace, if you're somebody who has a lot of close blocks, right? Like your 3D world has really kind of had all these little things stacking up around you. We're going to have to go through that first. But it's not about coddling per se, but if you listen, you can't listen just with the mind, you have to listen with the heart. When you do that, and you understand that at least with the angelic messages that I give, that is opening up an angelic portal for you. Now, I have made the mistake of taking for granted that people just knew that. But no, so you might have angelic experiences. I made a video saying, the new angel signs, it's not 1111. And I realized I confused people with that. You can still ask for angel signs because we love that, right? We love, it's like a cozy feeling knowing that we're loved when we get those signs. All good. But I'm just saying with that video, if you're not seeing 1111 as much anymore, doesn't mean that the angels have left you or you're not open to messages coming in. It's just coming in a different way. Okay? So I want to clarify that. But with these angelic messages, like obviously I'm in touch with angels all the time, but like recently it's, people are turning away. They're turning away in favor of things that give a charge through a sting. Think about if you like true crime. I mean, listen, hey, like it's riveting, right? It's like mystery, like what's going on here? So much so that we get caught up in the story, we forget that that was a true story and that actually was someone's horror. That was someone's, I can't even put all that in this video. So that little surge you get, that adrenaline rush, that is what the angels have been telling me people are turning towards. Now, this is temporary. It is temporary. But I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't bring that up, lay that down, and say, hey, listen to your tarot if you want to. In astrology, I'm a huge fan of astrology. I don't have any, I keep saying I should really say, I don't want to. It's complicated. There's so much. I'll just leave it to the pros, okay? And tarot readers, there's some excellent tarot readers out there. And P.S., I'm not speaking about the ones who every card reading is, he loves you, he's just scared. Or he loves you and he's coming back. He thinks about you all the time. He just can't right now. It's a third-party situation. There you go. There you go. When you've got a reading that is catering to people who are coveting someone else's partner, I said it. You want to get messy energetically? Do that. Oh, you feel judged? I'm not doing that. I don't know your life, but I can pick up on energy pretty well. I can tell you, this ain't it. And it does confuse things. And what's more, for the person, when you listen to stuff like that, you get pulled in. It's almost never true. Okay? But darned if they're not going to show up on that next reading telling you the same thing to keep you hanging on, to keep you in that mode of hope. I don't know. People can get very addicted to hope. That's how a lot of practitioners make their money, is through hope. Now, if you're somebody who does readings like that and you're sitting there like, hey, wait a minute, how dare you put down the way I do my work? I have seen readers who do the type of reading that I was just talking about, who I adore. I'm just going to move my microphone here. They are lovely. You can just tell they're lovely souls. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the hustle, right? Social media, especially spiritual social media, went into a direction that is just, it's surprising to me, at least. And the people who actually make it are the ones who are selling peace, which is not a bad thing, okay? Those are the ones who, they come on, they're soft-spoken, doing the whole thing. People love that. Great. And then the other part of the spiritual esoteric arts that gets a lot of attention would be the stingy interaction. And maybe you've had some interest in that. Maybe it was an appropriate calling for you as you got into this line of work. What I'm letting all of you know is that times have changed and they will continue to change. So if we want to allow this popularity to morph into something maybe that can help humans a little bit more, help all of us a little bit more, help the collective a little bit more, not just hand somebody the answers or possibilities or entertain them necessarily, but give them real food for thought. Give them a message that expands them. You know when that happens because you can't stop thinking about it. All right? I should mention, you're going to hear some noise in the background. I don't know what they're doing. 'Tis the season. There are random poles put everywhere. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, there's like trucks going around and everything. So there's that part of it. Why am I choosing this week to bring all of it up? I give you messages as they come to me. I don't plan anything ahead of time. When I sit down, they're chattering. As soon as I sit, I turn on the camera and I let it go. And that's just how it happens. So we need to, I'm not going to sit here and say integrity because I mean, some people don't work with integrity, but that's everything in life, everywhere in life, right? I'm talking about people who maybe got pulled in. We saw this when there was a certain angelic medium who was very popular. I've told stories about how I went to some of those events because I felt pressured to. I mean, it was so bad and people were so worshiping of this person, just blindly worshiping this person. No critical thinking. It was so bad that when I started my Angel Souls channel, people were literally telling me they could not take me seriously unless I was certified by this person, even though I had already been doing this for a while, but whatever. So that, even there where angel cards started to become very popular, we had people not, how shall I say this? You could just tell that they weren't really doing it, or they weren't really tapping into angelic messages, or they weren't even tapped into spirit, or if they were, it was in a dark way. See, we humans, we mess things up all the time. It's very easy to do. So, I mean, I'm not saying that, let's go back to that sort of, I'll reserve certain words around that, but that sort of movement. Like, we don't need that. And then we had, a backlash from that, and everybody went running back to tarot. And I feel bad for the really good, ethical tarot readers because it cheapened your art. And then all of a sudden we're all getting mashed up because, again, it went mainstream. And nobody knew what the heck it was. So nobody understood that an angel medium who reads angel cards is not necessarily the same thing as someone who's reading angel cards. Oracle is not the same as tarot. Some tarot readers stick their noses up in the air at oracle. Some people who use oracles will stick their noses up in the air at tarot readers and say, hey, you follow a book. All I need is one word here or one little image, and I've got the whole message, right? And for me, I use cards merely because people like to see an image. It's the only reason why I use them. They're also very helpful when I have, like, let's say I'm doing a personal reading for someone and they're incredibly blocked. Like, I can't get in there at all. The cards, I guess because the words and the imagery, it all has a frequency. And it kind of helps soften the client a little bit. It gives proof, like people, it's so funny. If you get a personal reading with me, not always, but a lot of times I will sit there and I will do the channeled message first. And then the cards come out. And they basically just say everything that I had already said, right? It was just validation for what I just said. But now people feel better about the message. And when I'm doing a live reading, you can even see the client kind of going, being all skeptical until they start seeing the cards. Now it's landing. You feel me? So I had people coming to me expecting me to be a tarot reader, an astrologer. That could send me on a rant. Why aren't you divvying up these angelic messages by signs? Because I don't have to, okay? Because I did that a while back because, again, there was so much pressure to do it. And I thought, well, if this is what people are asking, there was this whole mentality with YouTube creators that you have to cater to the audience and please everybody. Like you're supposed to do that. Even though it made no sense for what I'm doing. Right? I mean, so anyway, we all got kind of thrown into the same pot. People have their expectations. I ask for people's birthday because it does help me. Like if a message comes up, helps me to discern kind of what decade they were born in. That's a whole other conversation, but it can help with that because every generation has their frequency. All right. And it helps me also to know how to communicate as a human to another human. So I'm not going to speak to a Cancerian, and that's just their sun sign, but a Cancerian the same way I would a Capricorn, right? So you see what I'm saying? Anyway, I do ask for that so I know what I'm dealing with, but I'll have people give me their sun, moon, rising. I don't know. There's a lot of misunderstanding about the various arts, what they do, what they tune into. So since we're on that topic, the readings I do are typically, we start with fifth dimensional energy. We might go into different energetic realms depending on the client. But mostly it's fifth dimensional energy. Your higher self is in that realm. Now, a lot of people get frustrated with some of these messages because they want to be told what to do. They don't want to have to do any thinking. They don't want to have to hear about the things that they need to work on. They don't want those messages from those higher realms. And I'm going to tell you right now, it cannot go on that way. And for me personally, I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm kind of, not me personally as a human, but on my soul's contract, this is kind of a very pivotal point. And it has to do with what type of spirituality needs to be put in place. I'm a messenger. So I have to stay true to that part of my soul's contract, which is to say, if this kind of work is not taken seriously, I need to find another way to be a messenger. If, the world keeps going down this, I'm just going to hold this crystal and it'll fix all my problems, but you don't know what this is doing and you don't know how to work with it, talk to any witch out there, okay? They're going to be like, you're a mess. Don't just, you got to know what you're doing before you start messing with things, right? So if we don't start turning and opening and having this land in the way it needs to, if we don't evolve and start really taking deep messages in, I don't know what the future looks like for me, but I know that it will morph. It will come into a different way. Maybe I'll go back and spend more time on the writing than I do videos. Or maybe I have to communicate by joining a group, maybe I go get a job somewhere where it's they do some charity work, right? And we communicate that way. The job is to affect positive change. And if it's not being received, and this is going to be happening for you too, so listen up, okay? However you're working, if we're not getting it, we're going to, as a collective and as individuals, we're going to be seeing career shifts, or we're going to be seeing, the way we've done things, been saying this for years, crumbling down so that a new structure can come into play. You're seeing this. If you want evidence, here you go. Look at any of your favorite readers. Whether that's an astrologer, tarot reader, tea leaves, angel reader, whoever. Everyone is trying to figure out a format. right? Because that's very practical. That's what we do. You guys know I was doing the whole shorts thing and people blew up about that. Like, you know, and I'm at this turning point. It's been coming for a very long time. And I'm like, you know what? You know, I don't got to be here. Okay. Like, listen, I don't know what's, you know, in the future, but, you know, but you'll see a lot of people trying to do that. And a lot of us are still hanging on to more specifically in this example, the YouTube practical steps. Change up your title, change up your thumbnail, you know, do this in your introduction, offer your services at this point instead of this point. Everyone's doing it, right? Or figuring out some way to have their voice heard and cut through the noise. And I understand it. Part of me is like, it is rough, isn't it? Right? And another part of me knows that this is part of the process and this is what we're going to be seeing. So why am I telling you this? Why is this important for you to know? Be careful of what you're taking in. I'm going to do another video because someone left a comment asking about discernment and how do we do that? So I think it's a great question. So I'll make a whole other video about that. I want to get back more into educating people about angels, archangels, what to be aware of, what not to be afraid of, you know, that whole thing. And not just taking things from a trendy standpoint. But your life is going to change like this too. And if you're taking in bad information, what does bad information look like? You were, just as an example, let's say you were in love with someone, you found out they were married, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Oh, I just feel such a soul connection. We're twin flames. Go ahead, it's fine. You can laugh. Because if you watch my videos for any amount of time, I got strong opinions about that term, but whatever. That's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be your opinion, right? But, you know, we're twin flames. We're meant to be together. And someone hangs on. And then we're listening to these readings. And we're maybe lonely. We're scared of the future. And we hang on. And now we're off path. Now years have gone by. And you've just been sitting there waiting. I've seen this with people who fully believe, you know, that twin flame connection, that it exists. That is not the messaging I've gotten from angelic messaging, but okay. It comes from another time and space, and it was used as a punishment. It's not about what the duality consciousness is doing here, but thank you and good night. Anyway, so when people believe in that, just as an example, you know, I've seen men use it when they're in heterosexual relationships. They've used it as an excuse to stalk a woman, to have ownership of her, to degrade her. When is she going to wake up and realize I'm her twin flame? What can I do to get her to wake up? I got words for that. I'll just spare y'all because we'll be here all day and we're already in a long video, but that's fine. And then, you know, I've seen women, you know, mostly in these heterosexual, it could be in any kind of dynamic, but some of the most overt examples I've seen would be like the woman saying, this is my twin flame. And I've full on caught the man verbally abusing her. I had a friend who was, she was on Zoom with me or we're FaceTiming or something like that. And he didn't know I was on there. And he came in and started degrading her. And when he found out I was on there, he was like, oh, hey, Michelle. Hey, how are you? Oh, so good to see you. Yeah, I never liked you. You know, so, but she would stay with him because she believes that they are twin flames. Okay, so have your opinion. Just keep it to yourself. So be ready for this. This is just the beginning, okay? Now, it can come with a lot of freedom. It can come with a lot of freedom, and I know a lot of you are probably tired. I feel you, okay? We're all very tired, but we need to be aware of this. These are the conversations we need to have. Now, here's the thing. How long have we been going on? I don't even know how long this whole first part is going to be. Maybe a half hour. How many people are actually going to sit and listen to all this? Not many. If you're still hanging in, or you put it on while you're doing your makeup, hey, great, genius, there you go. Do it like that. But, you know, we need to have more of these heart-to-heart conversations where it's not about, from like an ego standpoint, calling things out so we look right and we're tough and whatever. That's so stupid. Sorry, just my opinion. But it's not about that. It's more about, we need to break this open, or it's going to break open forcefully, right? Like the universe is going to put it right in our face. So I know I'm trying to roll with it. I hope you all are as well. So what we're going to do now, having said all that, leave your questions in the comment section below. Be fully prepared to be blocked if you're just argumentative. I love intelligent discourse. I'm open to it. But if you come with your personality disorder, you're no longer my problem. I already went through a lot of that, learning about that. And as a collective, we're still in it. But I'm not going to coddle you. You'll just get blocked. Okay, so we're not doing that. So anyway, leave that there. We're going to go into a general reading for the week of May 8th. And then I'll break it down into 3 groups. I've had people asking, how do we access the groups? I'm about to be a jerk here, and I'm sorry, but I can't help it. How do you not know that? We've been doing that for a long time. Not me, but like other people. You don't? Okay. So the timestamps will be in the description box. And then there's almost always somebody who didn't see them in the description box, and they go ahead and put it in the comments. All good. That's great. But it's in the description box. Now, when I first started this up again as a format, did I keep forgetting? Yes. Okay. Then was I very dependent on those nice people to go through and put yes. But I think it's there now. It should be. Can't speak for my future self. But anyway, let's leave that part there. There's more on this. Be checking out videos that are coming up. See how it goes. Go back and look at my playlist that's all about spiritual how-tos. That information, I think, is still relevant. There'll be a little bit of a turn as we open up and, we start learning new things about us and how we work as energetic beings. So, but it's good to have that base information, and we'll see how that's changing as time goes on. So go back and check that out. Most of the questions people are asking, I've already done a whole video on it. So there's that. Okay, so let's leave this part there. We're going to get on to the card reading part of it. Let's get on to the general. Make sure you're watching the general. This is the base of your message. And then you can choose a pile. The timestamps are in the description box. If you decide, especially after you watch the first part of this video, that you want to work with me, here's what you need to know. It opens up energetic portals for you. Angelic energy will be coming in if you allow it. If you are somebody who's just scared, you're scared of what the angels are going to tell you. I don't understand that. I don't understand that at all. They're the ones that love you. They're the ones that are here to help you. Why wouldn't you want the help? Right? So keep that in mind. Once you work with me, the energy is open. Depending on what you're comfortable with, you can keep getting angelic messages even after you get a personal reading. So really the readings are just a little pinpoint in time. It's not as if they're going to stop working with you after that. Now, I do have clients that come regularly for a reading, and that's wonderful, and it's fine to do that. But make sure that when you're asking, like if you get another reading, don't ask the same questions you did before. I have clients who do that, in the past at least. They would come and ask the same questions over and over. How am I now? How am I now? How am I now? You're missing the point. You're not truly tuned into your angels. We opened that. They're coming in. Now, if you need additional support or other questions around that come up that you want to explore, that's a good use of the time. But just being codependent with the angels, that's not it. But you don't need to be scared. No, they're not going to tell you what to do. They do not interfere with human free will. They're going to help you find your way. So if you want a standard reading, angelsouls444.com. As of the recording of this, there's been a little bit of a flip because I started offering live readings through Zoom. Those, if you want to work in that capacity, those have a different price point, and you have to email me at angelsouls444@gmail.com to see if there's availability. But because most clients have started to go over to the live readings, there are fewer standard readings to get through. So not a guarantee. Depends on how many people come in at once, but I could get it to you ahead of time, okay? Ahead of the wait time. Again, no guarantee. So don't come yelling about, where's my reading? Comment down below. How much do I love that? I don't. I don't. All right. And of course, I have further courses over at Gumroad. So it's angelsouls.gumroad.com. Cool. All right. Energy healing work. This is what has cracked open for us. This is not just give it to me straight. Just give it to me straight. If you're doing that, get out of the way, okay? Because ain't no way I got no time for any of that, okay? Like, just, if you're not in the space where you're ready to do some real spiritual work, which is messy, okay, it can be. It's not scary. You can totally handle it. But it's not sunshine and rainbows. You're having a human existence. So this is the time that we're coming into. It's not scary. It's not scary. I mean, change might be a little scary, but allow yourself to embrace it and know that it is for your highest good, okay? So energy healing work, thank you for sending healing energy to me and through me. That's what we're getting ready for my own blessings and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. Let me give a quick tip on oracle cards. I love this deck because it's a Michael deck. It has great energy. In general, oracle cards that have a lot of text on the front, really great for beginners. Any reader can use these. The words are very powerful. But if you're looking for a deck, I don't know if this one's still in print. I have no idea. But just in general, if you want to get started with oracle cards, like I said, just very beginner, you can look for ones that have a little more text on it. So again, this is talking about opening up, letting that energetic healing take place. Look at the world we're in. Now it's not just about the U.S. and the crazy things that happen here. Those things are starting to happen around the world as well. Okay? So we need to heal. Don't sit there and go, I'm spiritual. Okay, you ready for this one? Oh, y'all gonna hate me for this. Oh, watch my subscriber count go down. Everyone thinks that's such a threat, and I don't even care about it at all. But just making a joke there about that. But watch how secrets are revealed, number one. And also how people who say they're so spiritually advanced, you're going to know that they're feeding you a line. Because there is no human in human skin that is truly so advanced that they have nothing else to learn. I don't even care who you are, okay? Again, we can't get too controversial here, but go look up some spiritual leaders and what's happened with them. Okay. You and your loved ones are safe. This is one of the things that will keep people from, doing real spiritual practice. This is why a lot of people have just been kind of keeping it along the surface because it's fun, it's entertaining. And I'm not going to sit here and say there's something wrong with that. It doesn't have to be. If you're taking those shallow readings as entertainment, great. If you're taking it as real advice, okay. Don't. But this right here, I'm afraid that I'm going to bring some energy in, or I'm going to, that's why I have courses on this, okay? So you know how to do this. All right, dear God and Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over me and my loved ones, and you can name all of your loved ones. Please help me feel secure and at peace, okay? And fill me with faith so that I may focus on my priorities and enjoy a healthful, happy life. Do you see what they're doing here? So a lot of stuff may have even shocked us. Now, I do record these in advance. Hopefully I'm alive by the time this comes up. I don't know. Literally all of this is hitting my chart in a lot of kind of crazy places. See you on the flip side, okay? Leave nice flowers for me. But we are definitely, some part of us is ending. And that's what's scary. And I think that's where people want to hang on. They keep kind of pulling back from it. But again, just know that you're going to be all right. You're being asked to change. But the perspective and the energy around how you function, that's changing. You'll be all right. You're absolutely safe in doing this. Okay? Explore your options. I'm telling you, some of us are going to be like, I don't know why I've been living like this. I'm out of here. I don't know why I've been working like this. I don't know why I've been tolerating X, Y, and Z. I'm out of here, right? Now, this is not so that you fall into victimhood. It's not that. Victimhood has a very distinct feeling. It's powerlessness. Or for people who are highly manipulative, it's a lie. And it's a narrative to get people to pay attention to you. So that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about some very deep examination and how we can align with our peace in a way that resonates with who we've become, not who we once were. Okay? So this says, Dear God, thank you for your wisdom and love, helping me see, understand, and assess all of my alternative options. Please guide me in the best direction for my health, happiness, and life's purpose. Now, some of us are not going to be able to see exact solutions. Like, not everything is going to play out right now. The stage we're in for most people is the breaking open stage. Okay? And things that we've been through in the past 3 years, there's going to be like a strange revelation around that. And I'm not saying out like earthly feedback on that. Check with your favorite astrologer or tarot reader on that. This is more about what that made us become. What we're no longer going to tolerate. Getting us to prioritize our peace. I know I did that. I used to have, when my birthday, so I was like, oh gosh, every year was like a midlife crisis. I'm like, I haven't done enough. I'm so old. I haven't, lived my life as much. And really, I've gone everywhere and I've done a ton of stuff. During that time and even now, I'm just grateful to have a birthday, right? It puts everything into that sort of perspective. What's more, it was a huge wake-up call for a lot of people. So that will continue. But as information comes out, we're made of different stuff now. Not everything is going to land the way it once did. Innocence. Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see that all of your qualities of pure love and light are reflected within me and all others. Help me embrace my God-given innocence so that I may be at peace. This is what we're getting back to. What does that look like? This is I always love this because I used to hear about this story where this guy, he had like a big corporate job and he quit to go be an organic farmer. Or there was this young woman, she was studying something in college and she was supposed to have this big corporate job and went off and started her own business providing party decorations that are balloons. Now, if you guys are like around my age, if you grew up in the 80s, like shoot, we used to have balloons at weddings. Okay, that was, at least maybe it's just in my family. I don't know, but we used to have balloons for everything. But these were like fancy, high-end, really lovely decorations that most people would have just had some opinion about and dismissed, but she saw potential. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing. And as far as the innocence goes, people were able to get balloons for their birthday party and they're 55 years old. But it awakened their innocence. So you see what I'm getting at here? We're leaving some of the rules behind and saying, that's not how we want to live. That's not what it's basically, we didn't come to this earth to do that. Brilliance. Discover your sparkle. The number is 26, reduces to 8. You're going to be hearing the narratives. Oh, this, that, and the other out there. And da, 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 da. Then we're going to realize that's your problem. Banks. Money system. You're going to tell me it's going to... It's your problem. And you're losing your power. You're losing your way. because God sees everything. And, we've been left to our own devices for long enough. And I think there's a turnabout happening here. Now, it doesn't all just happen in the next few months, but we can start here. We can start by getting back in touch, not with what makes us special, not with what sets us apart from everybody else. I don't know if this part's going to land for a lot of people. There's so many. We come into this world and we're taught you're not worth anything until you prove your worth. You're not doing anything with your life until you have a big title. We're in different times now. Nobody cares about that anymore. Do any of you care about some of the recent events where celebrities go to? Did you see what a hot mess that was? Cockroach and everything. Yeah. So anyway, the point here is that we're discovering or rediscovering where our true happiness lies. And that may be, if you're somebody who, it could work anyway. If you're someone who has been working at home, for years and years, and you're like, you know what? I want to be with a team again. Maybe you're that person. That would not be me, but maybe you are. I mean, I don't mind working with a team, but I'm thinking my days in New York City, I would never again, never. Oh, no. But some others, okay? So some people might really like that. You might want to go back to that. Whereas others are completely abandoning the thing that they studied and were told would make them something in this world in favor of something that truly does serve, maybe in a more grounded kind of way, and is more authentic to the person. I think you get what we're saying here. So again, angelsouls444.com. For standard personal readings, email me at angelsouls444@gmail.com if you want to try to get a spot for a live session. Those are getting more popular, as I said earlier, and those are getting scheduled further and further out. People used to complain about the wait time I had for standard readings. Now we're going to see how it plays out when we actually have to schedule a time. So listen, if you want in, make your decision, okay? Let's get on to the groups. Hello, group one. Let's see what is going on for you. If you want to work with me, angelsouls444.com, or if you want to try a live Zoom reading with me, those are based on availability. They are getting more popular. They're getting scheduled further and further out. So if you want to do that, make that choice now. Okay, different price point and based on availability. You have to email me at angelsouls444@gmail.com. Okay? All right. So here's your first card. Be gentle with yourself. So some of you have had some, I think everybody's had some major transformational, what the heck kind of moments. So this is saying, no, you do not need to jump in there. I gotta move my microphone, sorry. No, you do not need to move in there or go in there and try to make everything in place right now. You don't have all the information. You're gonna have to get comfortable with things being a little messy. What does that look like? It comes with acceptance and saying, okay, things are a little messy right now, but that's temporary. It won't always be like that. So be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to have some self-care, go for a walk, or maybe don't go for a walk. I live in Colorado right now, and there's always this pressure to like go for a hike, get out there, go enjoy the sunshine. I know what the sunshine looks like. I can enjoy it from my balcony, right? Fresh air and all that without a mountain biker trying to run me over because they think they own the trail. Like, those sort of things. Archangel Michael, please guide me in treating myself with gentle, nurturing love in everything I think, speak, and do. Help me know that I deserve this compassion. I release any feelings of guilt to you so that I may experience lasting inner peace. Here's what this is about. You know that mentality of go, go, go? Especially if you have a certain brain functioning, it can be like feeling guilty for taking a day off, or you say, I'm going to take a day off, but you can't quiet your mind. You're always wondering what's going on. This is telling you, okay, that's not going to serve you energetically. So do what you got to do to breathe. Go do a little project. I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was not feeling so hot. Change of seasons, sinus problems, allergies, you name it. So I was like, I don't feel like I'm in the right mindset to record. So I'm going to make candles. So I put on some TV, some funny stuff, and I just rolled beeswax candles, and it was fun, and it was great. Okay, so the next card we have for you, keep your eyes on the targeted intention. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus on my inner vision and intention. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action toward realizing my dreams. But notice the timing here. Okay, it comes after this. We can't push on anything, all right? Because you're going to be tempted to do that because things might be uncomfortable, right? If you have a lot of debt, you might want to push to hurry up and pay it off. And yes, a lot of financial advisors would tell you to do that. But if you're at such a level of stress that you're no longer thinking straight, take a beat. Take a beat. It's okay to back up, rest a little bit, reevaluate, and then get your plan going. That's what this is talking about. Listen to your professionals, but also honor how you're feeling. A favorable outcome. So if you understand this energetic process, things will come together, okay? Thank you for the beautiful outcome to this situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith. So remember, it can't be, I don't like this, I think I know what I want, so I'm just going to push on that and make it happen. And then you find out later, oh, that wasn't the best thing, okay? You're on the right path, but don't go too fast. Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Thank you for giving me loud and clear advice. No, guidance. Where'd I get advice from? Clear guidance that I easily understand. Thank you for motivating me and filling me with courage and confidence to make healthful life changes. Part of this is going to be standing up to people who want to hold you back. How do we hold each other back? With our opinions of one another. People guilt-tripping us, acting entitled to our time and energy and our focus, and then we get burned out, and then we can't take care of things that we need to for us. That's what this is talking about. So you're on the right path, but you need to open your eyes to what's really happening around you, okay? All right, magenta, connect to your deepest inner knowing. The number's 5. Oh man, we just came out of the 5-5 portal. So this is like you're not taking it anymore. In the example I'm thinking of, I am a very straightforward person. I am not a cruel person. I'm never doing things just to hurt people's feelings. But that straightforwardness comes from having been controlled and told what I can say, what I can't say. Having people's expectation of me thrown on me to where it took like pretty much the first half of my life. I was trained to think that I had to please others, that I was not valuable unless I was helping others. And that kind of in an unspoken way even ended up playing out like I'm supposed to be the version that they see me as. I'm supposed to step into their vision of me. In reality, I have a very sharp mind, People will say I have a sharp tongue, but those are people who want to keep me quiet, want to gaslight me or make me feel bad for setting a boundary. You feel me? So this happens a lot for women. If you have ever stood up for yourself and you've been told you're a nag, you're squawking, you're screaming when you're not screaming at all, it's usually like, be ready for that stuff, because that stuff is coming up to our attention. And again, it's not so that we go into victim mode and say, you're terrible to me because you talk down to me. It's just not tolerating it anymore. It's not giving into it. It's knowing, not letting it have that internal effect on us. Now, for every person, it's going to be different, okay, what you're learning from this. But I don't think you're going to be holding back on who you really are anymore. And I don't think it would be advised, unless if you're a healthy person, then there's no need for you to be tiptoeing. Be careful. Again, you always got to take every situation about how you feel, right? Like, I wouldn't go up to some psychopath and go, hey, you know what, buddy, I'm going to set a boundary with you because you bumped into me and didn't say, excuse me. Sometimes when people got them crazy eyes, or they just got like crazy energy, like, excuse me, sorry, goodbye, I'm out of here, right? So again, pay attention to that. I'm saying in normal everyday situations, like with your boss, maybe with your love partner, maybe with your kids, maybe you start realizing that they're spoiled, or maybe realizing that you haven't given them enough time and attention. Whatever the case may be, we can have a million examples here. This is what you're dealing with right now. All right. So we're going to leave it there for you guys and move on to group 2. Hello, group 2. Let's see what is going on for you. If you didn't watch the base reading, that's part of your reading as well. Angelsouls444.com for standard readings. Email me at angelsouls444@gmail.com if you want to explore the live Zoom readings. Those are based on availability. Okay. Explore your options. I think this came up in the base reading as well. So this says, Dear God, thank you for your wisdom and love, helping me see, understand, and assess all of my alternative options. Realizing that the way you've been living your life isn't the only way to live. And maybe you've been making things way harder on yourself than they need to be. This almost gives me the feeling of somebody who's been like a top level executive and maybe out in the spotlight going, you know what, I'm just going to apply for an at-home remote entry level job. Something I can do easily and just go live my life, right? So learning to balance things out a little bit. Please guide me in the best direction for my health, happiness, and life's purpose. So a lot of realization coming up and no longer caring about the image behind something because you know it's false. Shield yourself. This isn't going to be met with a lot of approval from some people. They're going to try to slander you. They're going to try to do a smear campaign behind your back. Don't let those types of people take your energy. But also, again, depending on the situation, we can't leave things unchecked. When people go around just acting any old way they want to, and nobody, again, go watch the crazy people, but they never learn and they never come out of it. They just keep on harming other people. So we can't be doing that either, okay? Again, be careful with that. But shield yourself, Archangel Michael. I ask you to protect me, my loved ones, my vehicle, and my home with your powerful shield. Surround us in your purple light, which allows only pure love to penetrate. Please stay with me day and night and keep my loved ones safe, and you can name your loved ones. So definitely, it could feel like people are trying to focus their energy in on you. If you know that's not an appropriate thing to have happen, and I'm not talking to people who are watching because you're just one of those personality types that thinks the world revolves around you and you think everyone is just out to get you. I don't know. We're talking about people who really, you've done nothing wrong and people are just trying to make it look like you've done something wrong. Shield yourself, because here it is. Innocence. I think this came out in the main one too. So if you watch that main one and this is the group you picked, pay attention to this, okay? Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see that all of your qualities of pure love and light are reflected within me and all others. Help me embrace my God-given innocence so that I may be at peace. This innocence feeling is popping up. It's like, I know what the priority is, and it's not that, okay? It's not pleasing everybody else. Make a commitment. Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit to myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. This is clearing away the clutter. This is not accepting the old way in the sense of I'm not going to be intimidated by a credit score. I'm not going to be intimidated, like if you're like me and you live in an apartment, they run our lives here. They tell me when I'm allowed to work because some construction crew could show up right outside my door, or as they have no rental laws here in Colorado, they could show up at my door right now and demand to come in. And if I keep my privacy lock on and say, no, I'm not allowing you in, they've put this in writing, that they will drill our locks, basically break into our apartments, and we'll pay for the damage. I have it in writing. I'm just waiting until I get out of here, and then I'll let you guys know about all that. But make a commitment to not allow these people to have that kind of control over you, making different life choices so that anyone who acts like that, whether it's that abusive boss or that boss that's sleeping with all of his employees. How many of us have seen that? Or, like I said, the apartment complex who thinks that they can just invade your privacy. When we back away and we don't give them energy, they starve. Now, let's break that down. That is not the same thing as I don't engage. I don't engage. Where appropriate and safe, you can call somebody out and then don't deal with them again. You can go no contact. Okay? But just walking away and pretending like things aren't happening, you're part of the problem. You don't like that? Well, then stop being a part of the problem. Okay. So we have Aqua, experience peace and calm, numbers 33. You're getting into that wisdom, man, and you're seeing what I'm saying, okay? Like, maybe before, if you had watched my videos, maybe you were in like a weak, kind of like a fragile ego kind of space, and you're like, don't tell me that, you're too harsh and you're too this. And now it's landing, and you're going, you know what? I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Why are we allowing these people to be in charge? Why do we just go, that's just how it is, therefore that's just how we gotta live, right? Now you're getting back to a place where you're honoring your feelings, making peace a priority, and knowing that whatever steals your peace, whether that's a person, a situation, what have you, and if you say the news steals my peace or things that are happening in the world steal my peace, again, it gets very delicate because it's not hiding yourself away from all of that. It's being aware of your fellow humans. But where you need to block out the energy once you've set a boundary would be with those people who can't take no for an answer, who think they own the road and they're reckless. That's a personality disorder. You don't believe me? Go look it up. Go look it up, okay? That's not a funny, like, oh, everybody needs to get out of my way. And if I'm talking to you, then I'm talking to you. All right? Do you get behind the wheel and think you own the road? You're probably laughing right now. You know who's not laughing? God, the universe. There's a reason why you act like that. It's because you don't actually like yourself. And you got to have an outlet. Okay? So in so doing, you take over something that you don't have full ownership of. You think you don't have to work around other humans, and you don't think you need to be safe. How well do you think that's going to go for you in this new energy? You'll be the biggest freaking whiners. Come in my direction, going, oh, help me feel better. No, I'm not going to help you feel better. Get with a therapist. Somebody who specializes in whatever you got going on. Did we pull a color card? Yes, we did. Okay. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for you guys. Let's get on to group 3. Hi there, group 3. Let's see what you have going on for you. So, your children are watched over by angels. Dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children and ensuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so that I know the best ways to be a good parent and role model for my own and other people's children. So even if you don't have kids, you're still the generation that came ahead of this younger generation. So you have a responsibility to set things up, do your best in the way you're living so that they can, don't leave them a mess, I guess is what I'm saying. But also, it's all of our jobs to watch out for children. And that means if you see something suspicious going on, speak up. This is not a green light for every, toxic person out there who just wants to control everybody to go up and start saying, I saw this whole video where this woman was like, I don't think it's appropriate that you dress your little girl in pink. Like, came onto someone else's property to knock on the door and say that. Crazies are everywhere. I got a lot to say about that, but as far as an energetic standpoint, that's part of this breakdown that we're seeing. You'll literally see it play out in others where you see them behaving in a way that's just like, whoa. It'll come across as entitlement. I just had somebody take an offer that I had made, which was supposed to be for concise questions, and tried to take advantage of me by almost practically getting a personal reading, even though I had covered topics before they wanted it specific to them, which is a personal reading. And they were basically wanting this for nothing. So, we have to start standing up to that and saying no, right? And being aware of that. And you can observe as this happens, okay? Got a romance thing here for you guys. Romance angels are helping you. This is very cute. Okay. Dear guardian angels of my soulmate, thank you for preparing my soulmate and me for love, for giving us the motivation to make healthful life changes, and for arranging for us to meet. Thank you for helping us recognize each other and have the courage to say hello so that we can eventually delve into a truly intimate relationship. So there is something here. Look, we've got romance and we've got kids here. Now, let's talk about this. So if you're somebody out there who you're wanting this because of social pressures, this is not going to be sunshine and rainbows for you. If you are somebody who is doing this because you think it's just your duty and that will give you some meaning in life, also not the way to do this, right? You don't have meaning in your life through other people. Now, some people would argue, no, children bring meaning to your life. I see what you're saying, but I'm trying to address people who are trying to force themselves into a relationship, missing the red flags, and then ending up in a bad situation. Or, more than anything, having kids for the wrong reasons. Okay? Kids don't deserve that. They do not deserve that. So, next card. Innocence. This keeps coming up. Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see all of your qualities of pure love and light. What? See that all of your qualities of pure love and light are reflected within me and all others. Help me embrace my God-given innocence so that I can be at peace. Part of the problem of these long descriptions on these cards, and of course I'm going to read it to you because you're not going to be able to see that. Man, it's a bit much, okay? But anyway, you see what's happening here? Some of you who have been single for a very long time, or maybe you've been in a dynamic where we keep seeing this all over social media, where someone is being cruel to their partner, like pushing them around, knocking them down, pranking them constantly. And, everyone's expected to laugh it off, but it's really not funny. It's not funny at all. It's cruel. Oh, you're too nuts. You're too nuts. If you think it's funny to go up to your love partner and knock them down, and then when they're hurt, or they're trying to just not ignite you anymore and you think it's still funny to go after it, God sees everything. You're not going to get away with anything anymore. Sit there and laugh about it. It'll be your last chance to do so. We're getting back to our innocence by eliminating or not allowing in any of that toxic, crazy thing that has gone unchecked for so many years. So what this does is that this opens the gateway for something healthy to come in. Now, if you are somebody who's sitting there, I've seen it plenty of times, somebody goes through a breakup and they're so not used to being on their own that they just want to hurry up and get with someone else. That's not helping you either, okay? Take some time for yourself. And once you do that, notice how the cards have come out. Once you do all of that, then you can go forward fearlessly. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. So things are unfolding for you here, especially if you're looking for a fresh start. I feel like this category, it's not just to single people. It could be to anybody who's like, you know what? I want to work on my relationship. Beautiful. But this could also feel, it definitely feels, people who have been single for a very, 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 very long time. Maybe you thought you were never going to get with somebody, and then somebody comes out of nowhere. There's a little bit of shock here, and you fall in love again, and maybe you didn't think you would. And it's, not for everybody, so be careful with this. But for many of you out there, it's something healthy. It's something beautiful. There's no desperation there. It's no, I'm uncomfortable being alone or single because I think some kind of way about it. Times are changing around that as well. Where it used to be, definitely when I was in my 20s, if you were single, like I would have a breakup and my friends were telling me you got to get out and start dating like a couple weeks later. So what ended up happening? I never learned my lesson. I never learned to appreciate and care for myself. And so it left me wide open and vulnerable to keep latching in with other souls that were no good. Okay? Like abusive or just using, you know what I'm saying? Like just, it wasn't a good connection, right? So there was all this pressure to make sure you're with somebody. Go watch Sex in the City. Okay? That's a perfect snapshot of what the times were like back then. Oh, you haven't been with anybody? You better get with somebody. Gross. Okay? No. So if you're somebody who just doesn't know how to be alone, give yourself a chance. You might find that you actually enjoy that type of peace where someone's not running your life and you don't have to be, some people are codependent. Some people are incredibly codependent. They can't go anywhere without their love partner, without that validation. It's time for examination. All right. So let's get this card out. We're going to give you two because there's two sticking out. So you get a bonus card. The one that was sticking out is purple, developmental clarity. The number is 39. Okay. And this is telling you, pay attention. Pay attention. Listen to what we're saying here. Look at your traits. Are you somebody who just hops from relationship to relationship to relationship? Look at that clearly. Why might that be? Okay. That's the sort of message that's going on there. Do you feel like you need to be dependent on someone? That sort of thing. So, and then we have rainbow, connect to spirit and nature. The number is 1. Your blessings come, especially through a partner, when you realize how to love yourself. You hear that all the time and people just glaze right over it like it's not important. Do the work. What does the work look like? It looks like being honest with yourself and stop making excuses and watch where you have distractions. Okay? So we're going to leave it there. I'm sending you all so much love and take care.